Welcome. You're listening to the Louie Minor Show. I'm your host, Bell County Commissioner Louie Minor. Today is April 6, 2025. We have a lot to get to, so let's get started. We do have a Bell County Commissioners Court meeting tomorrow, April 7th. So let's get to the agenda. The agenda for the regular meeting of the Bell County Commissioners Court for April 7th, 2025. We have the invocation, Pledge of Allegiance, consent agenda items. We have the approval of the regular minutes. Approval of the minutes for the March 17th, 2025 meeting of the Commissioners Court. We have personnel and budget amendments, claims, accounts payable, payroll, restitution, and jury pay. Consider authorizing the disposal of county property as either salvage or surplus as allowed by Local Government Code 263.5151 and 263.152, and authorizing the disposal of such property to be sold by Bill Hall Auctioneers, Inc. at 10 a.m. on Saturday, April 26th at the Heritage Country Church Event Center, 9677 Lark Trail, Salado, Texas. Consider authorizing award of IFB number 21-25 Stone Riprap and Rock Ridge Transport LLC as a primary vendor, and Green Dream International LLC as the second vendor for the Road and Bridge Department, an estimated amount of $100,000. Ratification of the purchase and ammunition of GT Distribution, quote number QTE 206257 under buy board contract number 698-23 at a cost of $62,788.61 for the Sheriff's Office. Item D, consider authorizing alignment of the APO 2 position within the CSCD department with an estimated increase to the budget of less than $2,500. And then E, consider authorizing reclassification of contract services superintendent positions to the position of assistant superintendent. And that is everything for the consent agenda. Presentations, proclamations, and awards. We have a presentation by Raymond Suarez, General Manager, Hill Country Transit Authority, to honor Bell County Judge David Blackburn for his years of service to the Hill Country Transit Board. Item B, recognize Bell County Clerk Shelley Costin for being nominated by Region 4 of the County and District Clerks Association, Texas, for Clerk of the Year. Then we have county engineer items. Consider and approve the replat of Shores 8 Hood Section subdivision replat, being a 0.2386 acre, one lot, one block subdivision located within Bell County Precinct 1. Then we have consider and approve a plat of Moffett Water Supply Edition, being a 2 acre, one lot, one block subdivision located in Precinct 3. Then we have consider and approve a final plat of Mockingbird Acres, being a 67.669 acre, 14 lot, one block subdivision located within Bell County Precinct 3. Item D, consider and approve a plat of Grime Land Acres, being a 10.1 acre, 2 lot, 1 block subdivision located within Bell County Precinct 3. Item E, consider and approve the final plat of Cedar Acres Edition, being a 8.334 acre, 2 lot, 1 block subdivision located in Bell County Precinct 1. And then item F, consider and approve a resolution to abandon request for a 10-foot utility easement and Goats Addition replat number 1, in accordance with Texas Code 251.058, Bell County Precinct 3. Then regular agenda items, consider the status and take appropriate action on the ordering prohibiting outdoor burn ban. B, consider authorizing the county judge to execute an interlocal agreement between Bell County and City of Nolanville for the regulation of subdivision in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the City of Nolanville. Item C, consider authorizing the judge to execute an interlocal agreement between Bell County and the City of Troy for regulation of subdivision in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the City of Troy. Item D, consider the adoption of an order with respect to Waste Management, Inc. project and authorizing the county judge to execute certificates approving the order and public hearing. Item E, consider setting the place, date, time for the public hearing regarding petition considering requesting the formation of the Bell County Emergency Service District Number 3. Said public hearing will be held at the regular session of the Bell County Commissioners Court, meeting May 5, 2025, 9 a.m., Bell County Commissioners Court House, second floor, Belton, Texas. And let's see. Then we have F, closed session pursuant to Section 551.074, Texas Government Code, to discuss and deliberate about officers, employees of the governmental body relating to the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassessment, duties, disciplines, or dismissal of a public officer. And then we have G, consider taking action required or warranted relating to the matters of personnel as discussed in closed session. And that is everything for our regular agenda. Now let's go to our workshop that will follow immediately after that. We have, presentation on P3 Public Power Pool activity. Commissioner Greg Reynolds. Next item will be discuss Chaparral road improvements and potential recommendations for engineering services. That'll be put on by myself. Then we have reports and updates from various county offices and departments, capital improvement project updates, update on the jail expansion, temporary jail facilities, clean annex, diversion center renovations, and discuss FY 2025 CIP plan. And then we have, discuss procurement options for subgrant award DR-4485-0064, the grant administrator. Then discuss request to reclassify a corporal sheriff's office position to a deputy sheriff's officer position, effective immediately. Reclassification will result in a return to the general fund of approximately $2,326 annually and $1,163 for FY 2025 human resources. Then we have some items in the afternoon. Closed session, Texas Government Code 551.072, deliberate related to the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property relating to the pre-strike property in Killeen, Texas, the deliberation of which in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the government body in negotiations with a third person. Then our next closed session would be pursuant to Section 551.0725 Government Code to discuss the deliberation concerning contracts being negotiated with the Killeen Annex. And then finally, closed session pursuant to Section 551.074 Texas Government Code, discuss and deliberate about officers and employees the governmental body relating to the appointment and duties of the county engineer. And that is everything that we have on the agenda. We do have some potential meetings. August 9th, 2025 at UMHB. There is a Central Texas Community Health Summit, Connecting the Dots. Then we have on the 15th, Conference of Urban Counties board meeting. On the 16th, there is a Conference of Urban Counties membership lunch. Also on the 16th, there is a TPPB meeting, Belton, Texas. I don't know what that is. And then there is a Hill Country Community Action Association board meeting in Lampasas. And then on the 26th, the Bell County Auction and Surplus Items and Automobiles, as I mentioned before. And that is everything. That is everything. So let's switch gears real quick and just kind of highlight again. I know I had mentioned it last week about Kendall Scudder getting elected as the new state chair for the Democratic Party. He's been on a lot of social media and interviews and everything. So I just want to play one. There's another podcast that I listen to that it talks about a lot about Texas politics, and it's called Y'all-itics. It's out of the DFW area, and they had a real long interview podcast with Kendall that came out today. I think it's about 45 minutes long. It's a great listen if you're into politics, which if you're listening to this, I'm sure you are. But I want to take a little clip of that just so you kind of hear a little bit from the new chair. So sit back and enjoy.
There is no time to waste, and there needs to be a sense of urgency for every Democrat, not just to build an institution and apparatus, but because we're terrified of what's happening in our government right now and what it's going to mean for working people. And if you're going to go on the news and tell people that, act like it. People aren't seeing this level of urgency in the party that they want to. You know, they see Democrats just crying foul and saying, oh my gosh, we're so upset. Well, what are you doing about it? You know? So I'm wanting to show people it's a new day in the Texas Democratic Party. You just elected a millennial progressive to lead your party. And we're going to be operating with the understanding that that's what the people on the ground want. And if that works for me at the next convention, awesome. And if it doesn't, that's great. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and help the next folk.
What should people expect to see over the next 3 or 4 months, first 90 days from you?
You should see a Democratic Party that has more bite in it. You'll see a Democratic Party that doesn't just take punches, but throws them too. You're going to see a Democratic Party that is much more present in places where we typically haven't been, and that is willing to start making right some things where people on the ground have felt like we've fallen them short. And I think you're going to see a Democratic Party that really emphasizes and focuses in on what this broken, rigged economy looks like for working people.
Billionaires like Donald Trump have successfully stolen away the working class, I would say, from the Democratic Party. What is the Democratic Party not saying?
They have in elections, but they have also successfully killed the middle class. And so why we as a party had gotten I think we got scared of the Donald Trump situation. We locked ourselves into preserving institutions. We were terrified of what could happen to this republic that we care so much about, and lost the guttural reactions of why people vote. Folks vote with their guts, not their heads, right? And so instead of leading with the idea that we're here to preserve institutions that have failed working people time and time again, we're going to talk about that from time to time as it makes sense. Maybe some of those institutions don't need to be preserved. What we're going to focus on is making sure that working people are the center of every discussion we're having, and how every bill we write, every bill we are able to get passed, everything we advocate for, how does it impact a person that's trying to put soccer cleats on their kiddo?
The golden goose that the Republicans have is this messaging. They have it down. They have AM radio. They have cable news. They have social media. How do you counter that? Grassroots is great, but it seems like the younger voter is on TikTok. You need the influencers to move into the next generation to find that voter. What's your plan?
Yeah, what do you do, millennial?
To answer that question now, is I would say as a party, we've been very risk adverse and hesitant on alternative media. I think the one example that's been beaten like a drum is the Kamala Harris, Joe Rogan example, right? Where maybe you're afraid to go on places that they disagree with you. Well, I go places where people disagree with me all the time. We call it Thanksgiving dinner, right? I mean, when
your family disagrees with you?
When you're a Democrat from East Texas, you're not walking into a room of liberals, okay?
Well, there you go. Kendall Scudder, new chair of the Texas Democratic Party. I look forward to working with him. And I did send him a text message and told him congratulations. And I know he's ready to get to work, as am I. So speaking about work, I had told you earlier on the agenda an idea. Well, not an idea, but it's Chaparral, one of the major roadways in my precinct 4. Now, Chaparral Road, if you remember, last year I had a disagreement with some of the other commissioners on putting a stop sign, multi-way stop sign out there at the intersection of Chaparral and Featherline Lane. Now, Chaparral Road is an interesting road because that is the boundary road between the city of Killeen and the start of Bell County. And Chaparral Featherline is kind of the dividing line between Precinct 2 and Precinct 4, and also the dividing line between District 3 and District 2 in the city. So there's a lot of things coming together right there at that intersection. But I commissioned a study with Friese Nichols, an engineering firm, to give the county a recommendation for improving the traffic flow with current conditions. Now, Chaparral Road is at least on schedule on paper. They're trying to make it a 5-lane road, multi-lane road, and connect from Highway 195 all the way to the Lake Road in Harker Heights. And so that's a lot. That is a lot. And then the city of Killeen would take the road over then. Now, they're projecting that this is going to cost an estimated $100 million to do this 5-lane. There's going to be, streetscape, and they're talking about roundabouts and all kind of good things. But like I said, it's a lot of money. The county already put in $3 million to help with this project. City of Killeen is spending a lot of money, but a majority of this money is going to come from federal funds. And getting community development block grants from our congressional representatives, and that got cut as part of this continuing resolution, this CR that we had talked about to keep the government open, to keep it from shutting down. That money was a casualty. Now, not the full amount, but just some of the money to help with offsetting that cost. So that was a casualty of the CR. But what I want to talk about is, what are we going to do now? What is Bell County, Precinct 4, County Commissioner Louie Minor going to do about Chaparral Road? Well, let me tell you what we're going to do. Nothing's been done to the road, I think, since 2018 or 2019. It's been a long time. The county does a 7-year cycle, from what I'm told, on roads. So every 7 years, there's supposed to be some type of new chip seal program where they go out and you see it before if you've lived in the country, where they'll put oil down on the road. Then seems like they put a bunch of gravel, and then you see a sign that says loose gravel for a couple of days, and then as it gets heated up, it kind of melts down into everything. So that's all the county does right now. We don't do any type of hot mix, which is your regular asphalt that you're accustomed to seeing in the cities. We do a chip seal program. But it's been a long time since Chaparral has had that. So my intent is to redo Chaparral Road. Go ahead and spend the money on redoing chip sealing the road from 195 pretty much almost all the way to Featherline. We're going to do it this summer. Bell County's going to perform the work. We're not going to bid it out. And it should cost close to around $300,000 to do that. And that should cover all the leveling up, that, as they call it. There's some areas where you can see if you drive down Chaparral Road, the base is failing because you're having a bunch of spider cracks. You're having holes where and dips where the asphalt and everything is starting to come apart. So we're going to go ahead and fix all that. Now that should take about a month roughly. So it'll be a month in the summer that we're going to do that. What Friesen Nichols is going to present tomorrow at the Commissioner's Court is to put a stoplight, a multi-way stoplight there at the intersection of Featherline and Chaparral, and also that would be a northbound turn lane off of Chaparral Road to Featherline. So that's going to help alleviate some of that traffic there. We have made improvements. One of the ladies that I know that works there at the school at Shoemaker, I'm sorry, not Shoemaker, at Chaparral High School, she said, I actually saw her Friday, and she was talking how well everything is working. There haven't been any accidents, even though it may be just a little bit slower. It is doing better. It is doing better. So they're appreciative of that. Now, this road, this turn lane, and this light. Now, this is going to be the first light in the entire county that is county owned and operated and maintained. So all we have are stop signs. We've never had the density needed yet for a traffic light. So this is going to be the first one that is going into Bell County. So I'm a little bit appreciative that's what we're doing because it's needed. That the first one is going to be in Precinct 4. So, but this project for this turn lane and this light is probably going to be around $800,000. So if you bundle that together, that $800,000 with $300,000 to re-chip seal the rest of portion of Chaparral Road, that's over $1 million that I'll be investing in Chaparral Road. Because, I mean, you're probably thinking to yourself, if we're going to redo the road to a 5-lane, why would you, quote unquote, waste the money on that? Well, the problem is we don't know when that road is going to get funded, when it's going to happen. According to the history of Chaparral Road and the improvements, this has been on the books for 20 years, and it still hasn't been done. So I don't know if it's going to happen in 2029 like the city of Killeen is anticipating. And the road cannot wait for nothing to get done up until 2029. And then probably it doesn't get funded, it'll just be delayed anyway. So I think it's important for the residents out there that live out in that part of the county. It's a very dense area. It's growing fast. It's only growing faster. That's the same road that Turnbow Ranch is on. That's a municipal utility district, and that's going to have 3,000 homes in it. So this thing is growing quick. City is growing quick. There's another 300 home subdivision that is going to be that got approved off of Featherline, and they're doing 1,000 the preserve at 1,000 Oaks right off of Stagecoach. So, I mean, this area is growing and it's not stopping, and I think it's really a disservice to our constituents if we tell them to wait until 2029 because we think something is going to happen, and then if it doesn't happen, we've just allowed the road to deteriorate even more, and it's going to cost more. So that is my proposal that I'm bringing. Now the county, each precinct, we do tax the residents a road and bridge tax that is divided by road miles into each precinct, and that's how the money is allocated. So precinct 4 gets an allocation of $2 million roughly every year for maintenance of roads. And this year I've prioritized our Chaparral Road. So that's where we're going to discuss the discussion that I'm interested in having is with Precinct 2 County Commissioner Bobby Woodson, because, like I said, my precinct stops at Featherline, but right at the intersection where the school is, that was another proposed place for a right turn lane and another light. Now, those two things were called out in the study that Friesen Nichols did, saying that all of this stuff needed to be done to maximize the traffic flow. Is it going to maximize traffic flow if that intersection by the school doesn't get prepared at the same time that I am doing the Precinct 4 section? Yeah, it is going to affect it because it's not going to be working together. But that is not my decision to make. That's going to be that commissioner's decision on what he wants to do and what's a priority to him. This is a priority to me. It's a safety issue, and our constituents deserve it because that road definitely needs a lot of improvement for our citizens of the county. So that's the plan. That's what we're going to talk about in workshop tomorrow, and probably what I'll do is after we talk about it, I'll play a little bit of it for you next week, just so you kind of get caught up on what we're going to do. But the plan is to award it this month to Friesen Nichols. That's the company that is doing the proposal, and then because they're doing a lot of work already with Chaparral Road. City of Killeen hired them to be the main engineer of record for this 5-lane improvement. So they already have a lot of the survey work done. They already have a lot of the stuff already there modeled. So it made sense to go with them because it saves time. What Friesen Nichols said is once we turn them loose, they should be able to have a set of plans within 45 days, and then we go out to bid. I'm hoping to get this completed out get this completed during the summer break. I don't want to have this impact our kids when school opens up, but it may. So we just have to prepare for that. But definitely the improvement is needed. The citizens want it, and I want citizens to be able to see that their government is listening and responsive to their needs. This was brought to my attention, over a year ago, a little over a year ago, not even a year ago. It was brought to my attention, and just in that time, that short amount of time, we were able to get a stop sign there. The city of Killeen put a turn lane off of Featherline onto Chaparral Road, and then now we're gonna make improvements to over $1 million on Chaparral Road, and that improvement I think should last us well into however long it takes to get final improvement of Chaparral Road into that 5-lane minor arterial for the future. So, yeah, exciting things. Like I said, it's been in the works, and that's what we're going to be talking about on Monday on Chaparral Road. Go figure. We're also going to be talking about the Killeen Annex. Bids came back, so we'll be talking about awarding that. That's another exciting thing happening in downtown Killeen. So a lot of interesting things going on here locally, and you're a part of it. You're part of the change, and I'm excited for it. So I think the biggest thing that happened this week in state local news is HB3, the voucher bill for taking public school dollars and putting it into private schools, cleared its first hurdle, and that's getting it out of committee. Now, it got out of committee last legislative session and died on the floor. So let's hope that is the case here. Now, on Friday, there was an event, NAACP banquet, scholarship banquet, and I attended that. Brad Buckley was there, state representative for this area, 54, House District 54. He's also the author and chairman of the bill, chairman of Public Education Committee. And I asked him, I said, hey, my problem with all this, I don't hear anybody calling, complaining about getting into private schools, needing private schools, wanting money for private schools. I have not heard one person, Republican or Democrat, say that to me. What I have heard from Republican and Democrat is that property taxes are too high and they keep going up and they're being squeezed. Every time that happens, every tax year, they're being squeezed. Their mortgages are going up. Their insurance is going up. And that has effects on families, has effects on renters. And that's what I hear people talking about. So I told them, I said, can we not use this $1 billion allocated to drive down property taxes? Because the largest culprit on your property tax is not the city, it's not the county or any other special district, it's the school district. That is the largest bill on your property tax rate. Now, he said, we're doing that we're doing all kind of things to, we're increasing the cap. I think it's 100,000 now for the homestead. They want to bump it up to, I think, 150, 125, and that's great. Then he said that they're, increasing the tax exemption for business property. I think it's $2,000 now. They're going to increase it to 250,000, and that's great. I'm not saying any of that stuff is bad. That is good. But what I'm saying is that this $1 billion that they're going to put into private schools could be used to increase those two things. Increase the cap on your homestead, could increase how much you get as exempt from a business property. $1 billion is a lot of money, and it could go to helping offset property taxes for homeowners. And to say that it would not, because that's what I said, why not put it in, lowering property taxes? And he's like, oh no, that wouldn't do it. Okay, maybe the financing, he knows a whole lot more than I do. Absolutely, he does as the chair. But I'm sure somewhere in this financing, somewhere in this math, somewhere in this arithmetic, that you could plug in $1 billion and it'll help lower property taxes. I know you can. I know that much about government math. That if you have $1 billion and you put it in somewhere, some line item you could put it in, and the school districts will not have to levy that tax burden onto the local taxpayer. I know there is. Is it the basic allotment? I don't know, but somewhere they can do that. So, anytime that I'm going to talk about this issue, about vouchers, I don't think I'm going to even go around right or wrong, and I'm just going to pull back and go straight to property taxes. You see it on forums, on social media. That's what's hurting people. That's what they're complaining about. Not about private school access. I don't hear anyone complaining about that. Zero. And if you have a good argument, so be it. But definitely the majority of people here across the state, in this county, in this city, in his district, could care less about public schools or private schools. What they're going to care about is lowering their property taxes. Because I had a good friend of mine, she's a Democrat, and she's like, Louie, what the F? Why is my property value, my mortgage going up $200 a month because of property taxes? And this is someone who's an activist and very involved. And I told her, I said, I voted against raising property taxes this last budget. I was the only commissioner to vote against the property tax increase. But every other district here in the county raised property taxes because we had to. And then right now there's legislation at the state to limit counties and cities' ability to increase property taxes. That anything that goes above the no new revenue rate it's going to have to get voter approval. And I could see, I can see that if that gets anywhere near to possibly passing, I could see a scenario where every taxing authority in the state would probably make a mad dash to raise their property tax rate to the maximum allowable before the before the voter approval rate, which is 3.5%. If the state does that, because they'll never be able to do it again without voter approval. I could see that scenario playing out, and that would be a massive tax increase all across the state, and it would be painful to people, but it would be equally painful to counties and cities and special districts if that law passes, because you're going to be tying hands of local government and being able to meet the needs of the community, because they're taking away local control and that ability to be responsive to our voters' needs, our constituents' needs. So anyway, that a lot going on. We have May elections coming up. I need to reach out to try and get some people on. Definitely want to focus on the school district and have Lan Carter. She's running for Killeen ISD School Board. I want to get her on here probably next week. So anyways, we will talk to you later. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.